Welcome to One Take, where we make a simple dish and we do it all in one take. No repeats, no redos. It happens as you see it. So tonight what we're going to be making is a spatchcock roasted chicken. So I've got this 4-pound bird here. This is a pasture-raised chicken. I'm going to start by just trying to dab it dry, make sure that we've got any moisture off of it, because we want it to roast nicely when it's in the oven. Just gonna go all around, nice and dry. Okay, I'm gonna remove a little fat on the flaps here, on the cavity of the bird. We don't really need these. It's not gonna do anything for us. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the wishbone. Now the wishbone is gonna be on either side right here, and if you put your finger there, you can feel it. So I'm just gonna take a small knife. I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna cut on either side of the wishbone, make it nice and easy to pull out and remove. If you ever just think you lose it or whatever, just feel for it, because you'll definitely be able to feel it. So now I'm gonna reach in there and I'm just gonna pull it out. And it goes pretty high. You can think of the wishbone almost like, kind of like your collarbone. So it connects kind of your shoulders to the middle of your chest. Well, wishbone in chicken, same way. It gets in the way of a knife when you're cutting. All right, so it came out in a couple pieces, but that's fine. All right, so spatchcock really just means we're gonna cut the backbone out of this so we can cook it nice and flat. So here's the backbone of the chicken. We're just gonna take some chicken kitchen shears, and we're just gonna cut. That's all there is to it. Just gonna cut straight down the backbone on either side. You're cutting through all the breastbone, all that. So you just gotta keep going right through. All right, and there it is. Backbone's out. I'm gonna save this for stock later. All right, so now you can see we'll be able to lay this bird straight out, right? And all we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be putting it in this 12-inch cast iron pan that I've got here. And it's just gonna fit nice and neat. Okay, so I'm gonna start seasoning. We're gonna season both sides. So I'm gonna season the inside with a little bit of salt. Get some of this chicken juice off of me. Some pepper. And then in my pan's cold here. I don't wanna burn myself doing this. So I'm gonna add a bit of olive oil. I've got some herbs here. Now all you really need is salt and pepper. If you don't have any thyme, this is thyme. If you don't have an onion laying around, that's totally fine. I've done this just pure salt and pepper. It's really all you need, but I've got a little extra things for today because we're doing it for YouTube. So I'm just gonna put this chicken in here. Okay. All right, and so you can see it's all nice and flat, and what this is gonna do for us is it's gonna get all the skin nice and roasted. So it's not just gonna be, I'm gonna tuck these wings here. It's not like when you're, normally roasting a chicken, you gotta truss it and, really only the top gets browned. By flattening it out and having all this extra space for the bird to spread out, means we're gonna get nice browned skin everywhere, which is gonna be delicious. I'm gonna add a little bit of onion. Like I said, totally optional, but I want some extra deliciousness. I've got a little bit of lemon here. I'm just gonna roll it under the heel of my hand. Gets a little pressure on the skin. There's tons of oil in the skin of the onion, and so by kind of rolling it out a little bit, not only are you helping free up a little bit of the juice on the inside, but you're also putting some pressure and getting a little bit of that oil out too. Just gonna put a little bit of onion in here. All right, and that's really it. Time for some salt on top. You can use a good amount of salt. You don't want to undersalt your chicken. This is a meat, and meat, you know, takes a lot of salt and pepper pretty easily. Add some pepper. All right, and I've got my oven preheated to 425. So that's what we're going to roast it at. Now, if you don't like your skin on the darker side, you know, extra crispy, you can always lower the temperature. You can always, you know, do about 350 or somewhere in between. But I like the crispy skin. So now I'm going to try to stick this in the deepest part of the breast. This is going to give us the best temperature while we're tracking this, because we want this to get to 160 before we pull it out. And that's all there is. It's all prepped, it's ready to go. We're just gonna drop it into the oven and get it to 160, and then we'll pick up again when it's there. All right, right in the middle of the oven, and there we go. All right, see you soon. Remember when I said one take? Well, I mean it, and I forgot the garlic, so I am going to go ahead and pull off a couple cloves here really quick. Just gonna smash it under my knife. There we go. That's a real extra thick one. Okay. Just get the skins off. And then I'm just gonna toss this in right in the chicken. Chicken's only been in hardly any time at all. Okay, garlic's going in. All right, now I'll see you when the chicken's done. Okay, so our temperature just got up to 161, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the chicken out. The carryover heat's going to get us the rest of the way to 165. Lots of steam. All right. Here we go. Delicious chicken is done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it out of this pan. We want to keep all those juices. We don't want to give them up, because we're going to make a pan gravy. I'm not going to keep any of these onions or pieces of garlic. We've got all the flavor we need right in that pan. So I'm going to turn the heat on to low. So our pan's already hot. We don't have to get it hot. Okay. Here we go. Lots of deliciousness down there. All this is the juices and the fat. So I'm gonna get a whisk out, and I'm gonna start whisking in 2 tablespoons of flour. Just gonna get this mixed and combined. See, it's starting to make a bit of a paste. It's because the flour is absorbing the little bit of water that's in there. Okay, so now we're gonna cook this a little bit, because we want to cook the flour a little bit. And so if you were to smell it right now, you probably smell a little bit of raw flour, and that's not what we want. We want the flour to be cooked And so we're just gonna keep moving this around. We don't want anything to burn. Okay, so now to this, I'm going to add, I've got 2 cups of hot water. Hot water because I don't want to dump a bunch of cold water into a hot pan. And plus it's going to combine a little easier. I'm going to add it slowly because I need to break this back up. Because everything's kind of clumped a bit together and I need to break it up again. So I'm just going to add it slowly. Just start really whisking around. You see our paste is starting to break down a little bit. It's starting to look a lot more like gravy. Really just get all over the pan. You want every little bit of everything that's in that pan, you want to get that in your gravy. And the reason why I'm not using something like chicken stock with this is that, you know, chicken stock can have a lot of salt in it. And I don't want this gravy to end up over salted. So I'm just using some water. We've already got the flavor we need. We don't need to do anything special. Pour the rest right. Just the heat a little higher now. Okay. So as this starts cooking, it's going to start thickening. So we're just waiting on that. Now we got a crying baby because life doesn't wait while you're making a YouTube video. I'm gonna take over camera duties. I have no idea if you can see this, but life is life. It is what it is. Like I said, one take. All right, I turned the stove a little higher now. What we want to get here is we want to get a nice simmer going. And that's the temperature we want to start cooking this down at and reducing, get us a nice gravy. Alright, starting to get the temperature we want. Starting to get our bubbles, so we know we're getting to that simmer. I just want to keep this moving because I don't want anything to burn. I don't want to burn my gravy. just by whisking this, I can feel that it's starting to thicken. It's not feeling quite as thin. And that's exactly what we want. I'm going to give it a little taste just to see where we are at salt-wise. Okay, definitely need some salt. And we need a good amount of pepper. Always love a good amount of pepper in gravy. More pepper, but we're good on the salt. Okay, we're starting to get close now. Just probably another couple minutes. This is probably going to be exactly where we want it. See, as it gets thicker, the bubbles stay longer, don't go away quite as fast. Let's give it a check. Yeah, it's good gravy. Now we're really starting to, you can see just as I move the pan, you can see how thick the gravy's getting. This is exactly good, I think. Yep, this is looking good to me. Okay, turn this off. We're gonna pour our gravy right into our, exactly what we used for the water. Because why dirty another dish? Someone to have to clean it, and that someone would be me. All right, there you go. So we've taken what was probably a little over 2 cups. We're down to 1.5 cups. So now we've got a delicious pan gravy to go right with our chicken. It is oh so delicious. All right, I'm gonna get this plated up and I'll show you guys what it looks like in the end. Okay, here we are 1 pot of mashed potatoes later. Nice big scoop of mashed potatoes on here. And then I cut off our leg and thighs here. All I'm gonna do is just position it right here with the mashed potatoes, and here's our gravy. It's right on top. There we go. Spatchcock roasted chicken, some mashed potatoes that I whipped up, and a pan gravy.